Hi dear students, in the last class we discussed about the basics of OOP chapter. This chapter carries 7 marks, okay, 7 marks, okay, 2 marks question, second next 5 marks question, one question will be compulsory comes in this chapter, okay, total it carries this chapter carries 7 marks, okay. See, the last class we discussed about there are methods, programming method. There are two types of program we can write. One is a procedure oriented, second one is a object oriented programming, okay. You know already procedure oriented means here the programs are write by using functions, okay. You can write the programs, means what, the problem can be viewed in terms of functions. It means what, the okay, you can write the programs by using functions, okay. Then the example for these C and COBOL, Pascal, you know the characteristics of a OOP. Then second very important means OOP, object oriented programming. What is OOP anta keltane? OOP means what? See, it is nothing but the problem can be viewed in terms of object, okay, in terms of a object means nothing but whatever you take student, you can take object. You have to write a program on by using student name. You know, for example, take a chalk, you can write a program on a chalk, okay. Different, okay. See, then you can write the problem can be viewed in terms of objects, okay, by using objects, okay, by creating objects you can write in the program. Later you can discuss very easily, okay. You know the characteristics of a OOP, okay. The main characteristics of OOP, it focus on object, okay. The data will be secured here, okay. It follows top down design, bottom up design method, okay. Then the the large program can be, okay, the large program can be divided into objects, okay. Last class you discussed about the characteristics of a OOP so many times. In examination they are 2 marks question will ask, write the 2 features of a object oriented programming language, okay. 2 features, right? 2 features, it focus on an object. Second one, and data will be secured, or it follows bottom up design. Got it? See, the next very important topic, 5 marks questions kertane, explain the concept of OOP. Explain the concept of OOP, otherwise characteristics of a OOP. In examination ಗೆ ಟ್ವಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, explain the characteristics of a OOP ಅಂತ 5 marks ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ you have to write these concepts, definitions, okay. Definitions ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. See, otherwise so many times already 5 marks ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ. Any 5 concepts you can write it. Already in first year already you studied these concept of OOP, okay. See, one by one you have to study it once again, okay. Concept of OOP means these all we have to use in when you're writing a C++ object oriented C++ program. This year we can use it. We can use object, class, these are all we can use it, okay, in programs. These concept we can use in a program, okay. Later when you come to the college we have a labs, okay. In a lab how to write the program by using the object you can learn in this year, okay. See, the first concept is the object. You know already what is object. Object nothing but it is a real world entity. It is real world entity. Real world entity means we can see and touch it, we can see it. This is a real world entity. Real world entity which has a data and function, For example, take a chalk is an object, okay, which has a, what are the variables of this? It has a height, it has a width, okay, it has a color. These are the variables. What are the functions of these? We can write and draw. These are the functions. For example, object, I am taking one object, student is an object. I am taking student is an object. What is object? Which has a data and a function. What is a student is an object which has consist of data. Which are the data? Student ಗೆ ಏನೇನು data ಇರುತ್ತೆ? Data ಅವನಿಗೆ name ಇರುತ್ತೆ, name, he has a ID number or name, he has a age, then he has a roll number. Okay, these are the variables. When you are writing programs, you can use these variables. Then what are the functions? Functions of student, functions read is one function, write is also one function. Okay, this is nothing but is one object. Object means nothing but it's a real world entity, okay, which has a data and function. Okay, that is called object. Okay, then in examination they will ask you write two features of object. Features of object. What are the features of objects? Okay, first one, the object always it has a memory space. Okay, whatever you enter to the computer must and should you want memory. Memory illarda ಏನು enter ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ in computer. Okay, must and should same object ಏನಾದರೂ enter ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ must and should in computer you have memory ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. See the features of object it allocated by memory space. It allocated by memory space. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ memory space allocator memory ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. When you allocating objects, when you writing objects in program, it takes memory. Okay, then second one, the next feature is the object is an instance of a class. Object is instant. Object is an instance of a class. Object is an instant of a class means it is a one instance means one piece of a class. Okay, piece of a class. It is a in examination they will ask you which is the instance of a class. Okay, this object is one instant of a class, one piece of a class. Okay, then the always object can be communicate with each other. One object can be communicate with each other. Later you can discuss about these. Okay, these are the three features of a object. So many times in examination 2 marks question करताने write two features of object. You can write it as for object memory will be allocated. Okay, then object is an instance of a class, one piece of a class means what? In class you can declare an object. Okay, then object can be always communicate with each other. These are the features of object. In examination if they ask you what is object, write its features. What object means it is a real world entity. Okay, which has a data and function. Okay, write one example, new example. Write this example, easy example. This is nothing but data and it is nothing but function. Always object in this diagram, the object is a student object. It has a data and functions. Okay, this concept you have to remember. This concept you have to write in program. You can learn in program. When you are practically you can do, then you can understand very easily. Okay, now you have to understand what is object. Okay, this is what is about the object. The second one, see what is class. Class means what? Already you studied. Class means it is collection of objects. It is the collection of objects. It is a collection of objects. Collection of object which has a common features. That is called a class. Class means it is collection of objects. Objects means what? For example, take chalk. These a student. These nothing but objects. It is a collection of object which has a common features. For example, I am writing flowers like a lotus and a rose. These are the objects of class. Flowers. These are the object of class flowers. Okay, for example I am writing PCMB, PCMC. These are the objects of class science. Okay, then I'm writing a business study and accountancy. These are the objects of class commerce. These are the objects of class commerce. Okay, this is the example for a class. Class means nothing but what these are the collection of objects. Collection of objects which has a common features. Okay, that is called what a class. Okay, in class, how to write a class? Class is also always it has a data and a member function. For example, see, I am writing on a uh, next class you can you discuss about a class. Now you have to know the definition. Definition means what is class. Definition is a collection of object which has a common feature. You can write an example. Example means lotus and rose. These are the objects of class flowers. Okay, then PCMB and PCMC, these are the objects. These are belongs to the class science. Okay, like this you have to know. Then the third one is the data abstraction. What is data abstraction? Already you studied. It is a process of representing the essential features without including background detail. We don't know the background detail. For example, take MS Word software. MS Word software ನಿಮಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನು how they are developed, that software you don't know, because these are hiding. The background details will be hiding by the company. Okay, hiding. Okay, for example, MS Excel ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು, but you know the how to use that software, but you cannot know about how they develop this software. You know the use of that. Okay, you know the use of that software, but you cannot know how they are developed that software. Okay, that will be hiding. Okay, that concept is called data abstraction. Data abstraction means without including background details, without it is a process of representing the essential features. I know about essential features of that software, but I don't know the background details. I don't know the how they are developed. Okay, for example, simple words, you take a fan. I know the use of fan. Okay, when you click on the button, the fan will be rotate, no problem. Okay, but I don't know how they are developed, how they are what is the mechanism of that fan. Okay, that is background detail. I don't know, but I know how to use that fan. Okay, like that in software also, I know how to use that video software, how to use that MS Word software, but I don't know the background detail. That concept is called data abstraction. Okay, data abstraction. So many times already asked what is data abstraction. Just in one word you can write it. Okay, data abstraction means the process of representing the essential features without including background details. Okay, this much you have to remember. The next one is data encapsulation. Encapsulation means what? Encapsulation, you know, capsule, tablet. Capsule ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, tablet ಇರುತ್ತೆ, capsule tablet. Data encapsulation means what? Data encapsulation means in one class. For example, I am writing a see here I am writing one class student in class. I am writing data members ಏನಪ್ಪಾ, int roll number, then char name. These are the datas. Then the functions while, read, then while, write. This is one class. See, in class you are write always you can write a data and a member function. Next class we discuss about these. Okay, see, first you have to remember what is a data encapsulation. Data encapsulation means it is a process of binding The process of binding data and member function. These are the data and function together in one class. Together in one class. Okay, that is called a data encapsulation ಅಂತಾರೆ. Okay, this year ನೀವು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಈ ಟೈಪ್ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್ ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ವೈಡ್ ಮೇನ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೀವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ, ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ, ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ. ಬಟ್ ಈ ವರ್ಷ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಪ್ಪ, ಇನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ you have to declare variables because you are writing programs by using object oriented programming language. Okay, variables na without class madidre that is pop, with using class ನೀವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ that is called object oriented programming language. Okay, see here what is data encapsulation. Data encapsulation means here the process of binding data and function together in one class or in a single unit. That is called a data encapsulation antare. In examination so many times they ask, otherwise they ask you data hiding. Data hiding means also same. Okay, it means what is the use? These data can be used by only by these member functions, not other functions. You data na roll number name na ee functions se use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತವೆ, ಬೇರೆ functions use ಮಾಡಕ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Okay, these data are only used by these member functions only. Okay, that is the main concept of data encapsulation. Data encapsulation means the binding of data and member function together in one single unit, means one single class. One class name. What is the class name here? Student is a class name. Okay, this is concept you have to remember. In detail you can study it in next chapter, don't worry. Then this is what this is called a data encapsulation. The next one is what is polymorphism. Polymorphism means what? Poly means many. Morphism means what? You know, morphism means a form. Ability to take more than one form. Okay, now that is called polymorphism. Ability to take more than one form means, for example, by using draw function, by using this only one function, you can draw circle, you can draw triangle. Okay, you can draw square. By using only one function name, you can perform different tasks. You can perform by using single name, you can perform a different task. That process is called polymorphism. Polymorphism means ability to take more than one form. Ability to take more than one form means what? By using only single function name. For example, I am taking here single function name is draw. By using this only function name, you can draw. Okay, you can draw the circle, you can draw the square, you can draw the rectangle like this. That is only allowed in a object oriented programming language. You have a program on a polymorphism technique also. Okay, later you can study what is programs on polymorphism, how it will got it. See, polymorphism means ability to take more than one form. Okay, then what is inheritance? Inheritance means what? Inheritance means here, see, inheritance for it is the one class acquires the properties of another class. The one class which acquires the properties of another class, that is called what? Inheritance. For example, I will tell you example for inheritance means, for example, take a grandfather, father, then son. See here in this concept, the son it acquires the properties of class father. Father it takes the property from grandfather, like this. It is a inheritance means it is a biological word. It is a biological word. This concept also we can use it in programs. Okay, later we can discuss. We have a separate chapter, inheritance chapter. Okay, we can discuss later what is the inheritance. Inheritance means one class which acquires the properties of another class. See, this is son is a one class which acquires the property from father. Okay, for example, your son is a look like his father. His father is look like a grandfather. Means what? His grandfather properties are come to father. Father properties are come to grandfather. Like this. This concept can be used in programs. How to use? Later you can study it. Then what is inheritance means? Inheritance means one class acquires the properties of another class. Okay, this you have to remember. Okay, the next concept is the see wait. The next concept is the message passing. Message passing, already you studied these 6 concepts. Okay, any 5 you can write it in examination. If they ask you, okay, explain the characteristics of OOP, you can write any 5. Okay, any 5 concepts you can write it. Okay, 5 compulsory, they will ask for 5 marks, or concept of OOP, or explain the characteristics of OOP. Then the next 7th concept is the message passing. What is message passing? Message passing means it is a set of is a process of set of objects can be communicate with each other. The one object, for example, object 1 can be communicate with the object. Okay, one object can be communicate with the another object. That process is called a message passing. Okay, in a program you can know, they just you know the now definition. Later you can discuss about the when your programs and practically you can learn this year how the message object can be communicate with each other. Okay, we can declare object when they are communicate with each other. Okay, now we have to know the definition. What is message passing? Message passing means the process of the one object can be communicate with another object. That process is called a message passing. Okay, the next concept is the 8th concept is the dynamic binding. What is dynamic? What is binding? First you know about what is binding. Binding means linking of function call to the code. The linking of there is a process of linking of function call to the code. Linking of function call to the code. The linking of function call to the code, that is called what a binding. Okay, for example, binding means already you see. Okay, see I'm here. This is one program. I'm writing simple program by using function. First, the main function means it is a calling function. It calls this function. This function is a code. I want to display behave display by using function. Okay, how to display the main function? It calls our address function. It calls calling function. It calls called function by linking to the code. Link either the code ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ void main it calls this function ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. The control jumps here and it displays the BRU ಮಾಡ್ಕಂಡಿ. This is called binding ಅಂತಾರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. Binding means the linking of function call to the code. The linking of function call. For example, the one function it calls another function. The one function it calls another function. That process is called a binding. There are 2 types of binding we have. One is a static binding. Static binding. Second one is a dynamic binding. Static binding and dynamic binding. Static binding means it takes place the linking of function. Okay, the function it calls it to the another function. It takes place during compilation time. During the compilation. When you see the errors, compilation means when you program, when you are doing program and you say if you have getting any errors, that time that process is called a static binding. That time if function will be calls to the another function during a compilation time, that binding is called a static binding. What is dynamic binding? Dynamic binding, the one function it calls another function, the one function it calls another function during runtime. During runtime ಏನಾದರೂ runtime means when you run ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಇನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರಲ್ಲಿ ರನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಅದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್, ಆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಏನಂತಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್ ಬೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್ ಬೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಾಲ್ one function will calls to another function during runtime. That process is called a dynamic binding. Okay, dynamic binding ಒಂದ್ಸಲ 1 marks question ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. Just it dynamic binding always takes place during runtime. Runtime ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ when you running the program, that time one function will be called to another function. Okay, that process is called a dynamic binding. These are the 8 concepts you have, 8 characteristics of OOP. Okay, you have one chapter on these. Okay, ಇದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. Okay, this year okay small chapters ಇರ್ತವೆ. Okay, next class you can discuss practically. This year you have to study what is the concept of inheritance, concept of object, concept of class, how to use concept of object in programs, how to use concept of class in programs. Okay, practically you have to study it. Then in the next class you can study it. Now you have to discuss about what are the concept or characteristics of okay, there are 7. These must and should done. This is a duller question every year asked for 5 marks. Every year ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ explain the characteristics of OOP. Any 5 characteristics you have to explain it. Just definition you can explain, no problem. Okay, this is what this is about the characteristics of OOP. Okay, already I am sending notes. Please you can write the notes. Okay, thank you.